Hey, April, is Alan Wilburn nearby?
Hello?
Alan Wilburn.
Yes.
It's Matt Reardon.
Okay.
Hey, I'm outside. I was going to see if you had that, if you had that evidence.
I do not, because your case has been, you pled guilty, so all that stuff is in a file, and we no longer look back at it.
You do realize the burden of proof shifts to you if I bring a lawsuit for your libelous comments, correct?
What do you think about the fraud over there at Circuit Court? The what? The fraud at Circuit Court. What do you think about fraud?
So I caught them changing records up there. Luckily, I had the screenshots. Uh-oh. There you go.
A lot of stuff going on in Oxford. A lot of stuff going on in Lafayette County.
Son, you back full crank.
Get freedom. Ain't free. It comes with a price tag. Yeah, you know who it is. Life been cold for a little while. Keystone Kid, Kilo Jones, J. Mills, why they call me the Outlaw. All the time, reminded rhymes, bro, racketeer, paid for play, you filthy Democrat. Another one, just for fun. I think it's him. He's back again. Oh shit, it's Matt.
Hey, Al. How you gonna tell me you destroyed the evidence? But you're gonna lie to the Oxford Eagle. You're gonna lie to the Oxford Eagle and then tell me you destroyed the evidence. How you gonna lie to the Oxford Eagle and then destroy the damn evidence? You didn't lie when you said that I threatened their life. You didn't lie to them when you said that I threatened their life. You didn't lie to them when you said I steadily verified. I'm the liar. I'm the liar. Okay, where's the evidence to back up your frivolous, silly, lame-ass claims? Huh? Okay, but you said that I steadily verified their place and put them in fear of their life. You're a joke. You're a damn joke. Man, let your life get destroyed over just fake-ass lies like that. Hell no, I ain't letting it go. You wouldn't let it go. Marine Corps veteran, I wrote a blank check to our government for an amount of my life to protect and defend the Constitution against shit like that. No, that's the thing. I got the evidence. It's a framed crime against, and y'all think it's just a joke. That's why you just looked away smiling?
All this person, nobody got to talk about like that.
Right, me a bit.
Oh, that's
so that's what it's about now? Y'all want to make it worse? Then it's already been. I've already lost my economic opportunity. I've been attacked 10 ways to Sunday, and then you want to talk about I shouldn't be mad? Y'all come out here as a crew, not one of you truly understand what it's like. I found fraud at Circuit Court. They're changing records. They're steadily trying to play cover up. He's destroying evidence. It's ridiculous.
Have you contacted an attorney about any of that?
That's the thing. Ray Tannehill. It all goes up to the top, to the mayor's office. It's funny that Ray Tannehill gets appointed by the Supreme Court to the Mississippi Bar Tribunal. You know, coincidentally, the people that you complain to if it's a bad attorney. I was misrepresented. Well, none of the attorneys will have anything to do with me, and I know it's because of influence. You go to writingwiththeoutlaw.com and go to mattreardon.com. Look at all the freaking, I mean, it's indisputable. It's indisputable. There's fraudulent concealment going on. They're the May 24th phone call, which is what Jared Bunder got the warrant from. Nobody will tell me who made the call. I know it came from the top. That's why, because honestly, the covenant to not sue, Lafayette County, the Sheriff's Department, all that, the county would have been perfectly fine had they not have fraudulently concealed and refused to produce the information requested on a public information request, which is that. Now the covenant to not sue is kind of out the window because now I have a reason to sue. Until they did that, I didn't, I was kind of stuck by the covenant to not sue they made me sign. So it has to be somebody really important that made the call. And all evidence points to the Tannehills. See, the funny thing is, 22nd, they took out an injunction on me. I get hunted down on the 23rd, 24th, mysterious phone call comes in. The 25th, I meet with the FBI. They will not produce the 302 request from the sit-down meeting on the 25th. 26th, I get ambushed. I'm supposed to get 48 hours in jail before I get a bond hearing. I'm held for 96. Nobody's given any kind of explanation for that.
96 days, not a bond
96 hours. So 4 days. 4 days. You have to go before a judge within 2. There's 4 days before I went before Judge Bell, Carolyn Bell. She refused to let me address the court to show that I had a bill of sale proving I didn't purchase the AR-15 until May 20th. They allege on or before May 8th. I used that AR-15 to put the lynches in fear of their life. But I was going to their bar every day pretty much up until the 19th of May. Why would I put them in fear of their life? I don't even know where they live. And then, it's the craziest witch hunt ever. It's destroyed my life over lies.
Well, none of us out here personally work on your case.
No, I know.
So we don't know anything about your case as far as that goes.
I just want to find answers. I'm doing my due diligence as afforded to me by my rights in order to the few rights I have left, in order to seek vindication and to hold the responsible, parties accountable that are the true criminals. Because I'm going to tell you, if they could do it to me, the government could do it to me, a Marine Corps veteran who, pledged a lifetime oath to our country to protect and defend it, they could do it to anybody. And that's the scary part. They do it to somebody that freaking pledged their life to our country. I was a airframe and hydraulic mechanic. I was, unfortunately, I never deployed. I was in a non-deployable squadron. It was BMAT 203. It was 4 years. From the end of 2007 when I joined in December, and I got out in 2011. I got out for alcohol rehabilitation failure. There were 2 gruesome suicides. One of them in it was June. It was at Camp Devil Dogs, the Marine combat training that I was in. That was the last time that they allowed live rounds on Armory Watch. The dude found out that his girlfriend back home was Dear Donning him, and yeah, I went to rehab while I was in the Marine Corps, and then after rehab, I had strict orders for me not to drink, and fuck no, hell no. Do I sound like I'm under the influence? Am I making any kind of weird movements like I'm under the influence? I think you would be pretty pissed off. Like I said, put yourself in my shoes for a second. I'm trying to find out why. The Oxford Eagle article, there were millions of splinters sent through this area based on lies. Alan Wilburn's in the Oxford Eagle article saying that I would drive by their place and I threatened their life multiple times. Yet there's no proof. I never once threatened anybody. I've always claimed to be a patriot. I would never put anybody in harm's way. I would protect innocent people, my family, myself. That'd be the only time I would engage somebody. But, I just simply want to know, where's his proof for saying that? How's he going to give? He's been doing this stuff for long enough. He should know better. He should use the word allegedly. Okay? In something that's currently going on, the word allegedly. You don't actually say in fact something to the media unless you actually have proof. And he knows that. And I'm asking him for his proof because that's what a lot of people are going on, is spreading their lies. and he doesn't have it. Imagine your name just freaking ripped to shreds. And you got Sleepy right here.
See, Matt, this is where when you were being tried for crime,
I wasn't tried. Look, that's what I was trying to tell you. Judge Bell gave me a $150,000 bond, okay? 4 days after I was arrested, knowing that I couldn't afford that, okay? No. I sat in jail for 6 weeks. I kept trying to get a bail reduction hearing. The guidelines established by the Supreme Court say for a crime up to 10 years. And see, aggravated... Huh? No. I was given 5 years. I was given 5 years supervised probation. Yeah.
your attorney could have filed for a motion of discovery.
He didn't. My attorney was part of the problem. That's why I'm so angry. My attorney was part of the problem. He told me to if I didn't plea out, that they were going to throw the book at me. They were going to railroad me with a whole bunch of other charges, made up charges, get a guaranteed conviction so they could send me to Parsons. And so I could either plea out and take the banishment and leave Oxford and Lafayette County for 5 years, surrender my guns. My daughter lives over here, and she's been used as a wedge to the court the entire time. She was used as a wedge to the court then to manipulate a favored outcome. Huh? What did I do? Yeah, I took the advice of my attorney because I wasn't getting a bond reduction hearing, and a presumably innocent person sitting in jail for 6 weeks, not given the opportunity to get a bond that he could afford to get out. Because the same, no,
it sounds like you need to come and talk to your attorney, like his lieutenant.
But there's people in this county. No, my attorney is part of the problem. He's the most corrupt thing of all. I don't have anything to do with it. With what money?
Well, coming up here harassing people.
Harassed him?
Yeah.
No. What has happened to me? What has happened to me has been complete, absolute hell. And so what I'm doing is what I'm constitutionally allowed to do.
Matt, the North Mississippi Rural Legal Service
Can't.
Why?
Because of my ex, the one that's used my daughter against me in court. She has Christy McCoy. She put a false rape accusation against me back in November of 2018. She just went to court. She just got sentenced to 30 days because they treated it as a misdemeanor for filing a false rape accusation. Because Christy McCoy is the attorney over there at Rural Legal Services. I can't go to them for anything because of conflict of interest.
Have you tried a different county to see if they have a rural
I've
legal
called so
service?
many different attorneys, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, I used to have about $8,000 a month of residual coming in before everything happened in 2017. I just got a $10,000 payout on that, and then boom, I get freaking framed for a crime I didn't commit. I'm sitting in jail. My money, my residual income steadily dwindling. Now it's down to about $1,500 a month, and my ex takes $600 of it. And I haven't even seen my child since January. It's kidnapping. This is organized crime. It's RICO. It's got RICO written all over it.
Well, we can't hit.
I know, but I want you to know, when you see me, when I'm trying to get to the bottom of something, it's because I have a legitimate reason. You know, the freedom of the press shall not be abridged. Okay, and that's what I feel like I'm doing. There have been people that have said I'm going about it the wrong way with writing with the Outlaw, but I'm certain of my wrongness if I'm wrong. Okay, because I'm tired of there being.
What's the problem with the Outlaw?
It's the live documentary.
Well, ultimately, I don't think you're going to get the answers you're looking for coming up here talking to the major as far as a 4 or 5 year old.
The major's a coward.
It's a 4 or 5 year old case.
No, it's a 3-year-old case.
3-year-old case. However, at the end of the day,
I was also blocked from coming back to town until a few months ago. Okay, so and I have every right to. I have every right to. Look what happened to me. The major is a coward. He is an absolute coward.
Well, that's your personal opinion, but it's not going to solve the problem.
all this is not. You're going to have to get legal representation to solve the problem. Because you're not going to get the answers you're looking for out of him. If the case is over, I mean, it's a fact. You pled guilty to it. So, I mean, we don't sit here and reminisce on old cases and just open up the files and oh, look what they did.
I know it's easy. It's easy for you to say because your economic opportunity wasn't destroyed. You didn't have millions of lies spread throughout the area and surrounding areas about you. You didn't have your family completely destroyed over it. All right, so yeah, that's easy to say.
If you come about it the right way,
I've tried to.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't love to talk to you.
No, I caught him red-handed yesterday.
If you're doing all this like you did with last incident, nobody's going to want to talk to you like
I caught him red-handed yesterday. And that was when he told me today that he doesn't have the evidence. When he knew all along there was no evidence because I never did it. So, you know what? It's about time that people get held accountable for the crimes they commit. The system is unjust. It's unequal. The laws are applied unequally. And it's about time that shit changed.
Well, Matt, honestly, it's nothing personal. If some other person came up here and said, hey, I pled guilty to a case 3 years ago, let me get that evidence.
This area has known. This area has known that they framed me. There's no doubt about it. They have known, they have played a part in it, and they have benefited from it. They have personally found benefit from it.
Oh.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself. He used that as a publicity stunt back in May of 2017. May and June. You got to look at and then look at the dates on everything. Look at the dates on everything. Tannehill gets elected mayor June 6th. Okay, that was exactly a week, 7 days after my bond hearing. They did that because they knew that I wouldn't be able to get in front of a judge to get my bond reduced in time to get out to bring the information.
Elected Mayor Tannehill.
No, she was already set. She was already set to come on. She knows, they know that they already violated the law by coming after me for constitutionally protected activity. You look at the restraining order that they took out on me back in May of 2017. The stuff listed in there, it's not criminal. No, I'm saying that was the preliminary injunction that Ray Tannehill took out representing his wife, Robin. That was when y'all... No. I went and met with the FBI because he was part of the problem with keeping my daughter away from me, and they also took out that emergency injunction to bar me from speaking at City Hall on June 6th, the day of her election. I was on the agenda. I'm listed. No, I didn't.
I can't remember because it's been a while.
No, May 1st, Timmy Pruitt arrested me standing in front of the Confederate statue.
What is the thing about Ray?
The thing about Ray was May 16th. I spoke out at City Hall. Pat Patterson wouldn't let me speak. He said I had to put my name on the agenda for the next meeting. I said I'm going to address this session anyways. And see, they knew that I was going to speak. They had Oxford Police Department officers sitting right beside me the whole time. I wasn't there to hurt, cause any harm to anybody. But I was addressing the government. I was petitioning the government for a redress of grievances over the state flag. And so I stood up and I said, each of y'all, and I pointed to each of the Board of Aldermen members and the mayor, and I said, each of y'all are a cultural Marxist if you choose to continue taking state funds from the state of Mississippi, your tax dollars, yet refuse to fly the state flag which was voted in by the taxpayers. To me, that's a slap in the face and a slap in the face to democracy and our constitutional republic, our way of voting, okay? The taxpayers vote for something. You don't listen to it. If you choose to go about your own way, why are you taking taxpayer dollars? That was my issue, okay? So because I called each of them a cultural Marxist, that was what they went off of. It was a joke on that injunction order. Tannehill is over there giving a sworn affidavit saying that I went to City Hall with a gun on my hip, and that I looked at her, and that I pointed at her with a gun on my hip. It was holstered. What's wrong with that? Joke. She's an illegitimate mayor. She used what happened to me to help shield their crimes, and they still are. I mean, you look at the website, I've got, it's indisputable evidence. It's indisputable. The days, like, it's a joke. They had zero evidence for the charge they brought against me, that they made it where I could not get out, to defend myself, to show the bill of sale, all that. Wouldn't even let me speak in court, the bond here. Bill won't talk to me. Avent won't talk to me. Meanwhile, Bill said an accused rapist and kidnapper, the guy that kidnapped and raped a girl at Ole Miss, that multiple victims have come forward, as a joke, she set his bond at $20,000. $10,000 for each charge. $10,000 for the rape, $10,000 for the kidnapping. And that was less than a year after she set my bond at $150,000. Basically saying that a Patriot, Marine Corps veteran, who kept a gun on his hip and fought for the state flag 7.5 times. No, I told you I was at a non-deployable squadron. So my squadron, we trained new pilots who came into the Marine Corps to fly the AV-8 Harrier, and they would get assigned to a gun squadron, go overseas and drop bombs in Iraq. What do you mean I fought? I fought for the flag as far as the state flag of Mississippi. I advocated for the state flag of Mississippi. Because, and it's not even about that flag. It's about the will of the people. And that's the thing. It's never been about Confederate history so much. It's been about constitutional rights. The Constitution. The will of the people.
Man, I'm not going to be rude to you. I'm just a little confused. Where exactly is the grievance? Statue, the flag, is it animal, is it
my grievance in general is socialism. Okay?
Well, this office, you don't have anything to do.
I understand that. But this office played an absolutely critical part in everything. I'll tell you what happened. I know what happened. It was Buddy. Okay? And unfortunately, I can't put Buddy on the stand because Buddy's gone. And that's one of the reasons why there needs to be term limits on government employees and elected officials. Because somebody that's been in office for 40-something years, okay, you can't say that he didn't have all the sway in the world.
Well, I'm spoke to your representative about term limits on elected officials.
No.
That'd be the route to go. Speak to your representative. We can't.
But no, it's not. But that's not the reason I'm here. The reason I'm here right now was because of Sleepy right there destroying evidence.
What evidence do you have that you destroyed evidence?
His statement to the Oxford Eagle and the newspaper article saying Major Alan Wilburn says there was no allegedly. It was, he stated that in fact. Okay, you stated in fact, you better have the evidence to back it up or else it's libel, it's slander, it's defamation, and it's under color of law, not just personal.
I haven't seen the Oxford Eagle article, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
All you got to do is just type in Matt Reardon Oxford, you know, and it's right there on the first page of Google.
You take it.
What?
The Oxford Eagle.
Are you a joke? Did I make their newspaper article? I mean, think about what you're asking. You're trying to play the devil's advocate on my questions, but it doesn't even make sense what you're asking, Ian. Come on.
To me,
I bet I'm not.
it don't make sense to me either. So you're saying a newspaper article stated that Alan Wilburn stated that you, in fact, did an alleged crime.
That I would drive by their place, so I want to know what kind of evidence he has to back the fact that I would drive by their place,
Okay.
their house. I don't even know where they live.
Well, that evidence will be available to you in the pre-trial phase via a motion of discovery.
I know that,
However,
but unfortunately, I was unlawfully kept in jail on a bond that would not be lowered for 6 weeks. They left me with no other option, I felt, but to plea out, to get out to provide for my family. Because they would not give me a presumably innocent person. Because by the Constitution, all accused are innocent until proven guilty. So you have to assume that, regardless, until it's proven in court, a trial, that I'm innocent. Well, $150,000, I'd never been accused of a felony before. Never. I was not a criminal. So to keep me locked up on a $150,000 bond is morally unjustifiable.
You apply for a bond reduction?
Yes. And that's the thing. I need my calls from the jail. I told Joey that yesterday. He doesn't know if they're still available or not. Go figure. Like all the recorded calls. From inside of the, now all calls are recorded going out.
You might have to be an attorney.
No, I filed my own motions. I filed my own post-conviction relief. I filed my own motion of recusal, my own motion for rehearing, my own motion to compel evidence and preserve evidence. And a crooked judge wanted to call the motion to compel and preserve evidence moot. Why?
A recorded call?
My recorded calls? I mean, I can get a subpoena. I don't need a lawyer. I file my own legal filings. You ought to see my filings I got on file over at Circuit Court. Don't blow your mind. I just filed my motion to appeal to the Supreme Court. It was 7 pages long, and the circuit judge, should have recused himself because of conflict of interest. He knew about all the fraud committed by Lafayette County. I sent it all in an email to his court administrator because I was looking for guidance on how to get a hearing, an evidentiary hearing. Sent it to Kathy Sturdivant. She passed it to Judge Luther. Judge Luther read through all the emails. He got back to her and said, let him know he has to go to the post-conviction relief method. So she replied to me and said, Judge Luther reviewed all your emails and said, in Mississippi, if you wish to challenge a plea or conviction, you have to do it via post-conviction relief. So I filed a post-conviction relief. I raised 6 meritorious reasons, including constitutional rights violations, that had occurred in order to seek an evidentiary hearing, to present my evidence. He denied it. It's the same judge that also denied reducing my bond. I'm telling you, these people, if I didn't have the evidence to back up everything that I said, if I didn't document everything, then these people would be successful in calling me crazy. No doubt about it. The problem is, they're the crazy ones because I've got the evidence to back it all up. And they know that their walls are about to collapse if I get the Supreme Court to reverse and render on this.
All right. So what exactly do you want from the sheriff's office?
I want what the sheriff's office has been withholding from me. I want Alan Wilburn that knowingly said false statements to further destroy my reputation. I want the proof to back up his claim. If he has it, then it's not slander. It's not libel. It's not defamation. If he doesn't, he's got a problem. You cannot say that and say it under color of law about a presumably innocent person unless you have evidence to substantiate. And you know this. You don't know this.
Again, you got this through the pre-trial phase to the motion discovery.
Once again,
I hear you.
Y'all have my head all fucked up with all this. Because I'm over there, I get blindsided by a crime that I did not nor could not have committed. In fact, there's no way I could have committed the crime. That's the crazy part.
But just think about this. Why, 3 years later, would we dig out evidence and give it to the alleged suspect of the crime? Why would we do that?
Because did you not take an oath to protect and serve, to uphold and defend the Constitution? My right as a citizen is to, everybody has the right to seek evidence, to obtain justice, to obtain vindication, especially in something like this where the proof has come out that not only am I innocent, but this has been a conspired upon plot. So why, in answer to your question, why? 3 years later, I'm within the window to overturn this. Why would y'all not have it? Is the question I would turn back around on the sheriff's department. Why would y'all not have something? The courts are instructed that in lack of evidence, they have to look at the matter in the way that's most favorable to the one bringing the action, the motion. So if the evidence is not there, if it's been destroyed or whatever, okay?
In terms of your, in terms
of the appeal to the Supreme Court. So I just put in the designation of record as far as what all I want. I just made the claim of prosecutorial misconduct against Mickey Mallett.
Okay. And you're waiting for the Supreme Court to get back, right?
The Supreme Court is either going to, I'm still in the phase of getting the record, approving the record before it gets transferred to the Supreme Court. They'll either take it on themselves or they will kick it to the Court of Appeals. Regardless, what I'm really appealing right here is the fact that I was denied an evidentiary hearing. I need to have a trial. They need to undo my guilty plea because of
given an opportunity for a trial, and you're given that opportunity. How you doing for a trial? And you pled guilty.
Don't come to me with that.
Is that not one?
Don't start with me on that.
Yeah.
I understand that, but you also know everything else around it and exactly why. I've got a psychological report from a month and a half after I got out, where a psychologist is saying that I pled out under fear and duress, where I was coerced. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny that somebody's fucking life gets destroyed. You know what movie I think about? I think about law-abiding citizens. I think about law-abiding citizens.
What you're talking about, but you need to consult.
I know the law.
Your own attorney, I get you talking.
I am.
I don't know. I can't get it. I'm not going to knock on it. Follow the steps of the Supreme Court that the agreements you have, we can address those. Now,
because I have legitimate reason to be here. That's the thing. I do. We can both agree to disagree on that.
That's just my opinion. I think you ought to go to the Supreme Court and address your grievances that way, because they're not going to get solved. We're not going to go in there and pull out evidence from a case that's closed and somebody that pled guilty and bring you the evidence and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to bring to the table against you. We're not going to do that. And we don't sit here and reminisce.
So protect and serve. If I'm truly innocent, and there are, in fact, criminals that conspired against me to arrange this that I have proof of, the whole phrase protect and serve, why is it that I'm being denied ultimately the rights that everybody should have in making sure that the truly guilty parties are prosecuted? And the way to do that is through not obstructing when I have the evidence that substantiates everything that I'm saying. Protect and serve means protect and serve.
What evidence are you talking about?
Once again, go to my website, I've got all the proof of my innocence. I've got the guy that sold me the freaking gun that's willing to testify. I bought it on May 20th because my ex sent me a lengthy text message saying that she knew that somebody had intent on killing me. So I went and I bought an AR-15. I bought a bulletproof vest because I was ready to go full-blown militant on whoever came freaking wanting to cause harm to myself and my family, if need be. But I wouldn't engage until unless they actually posed a risk to me.
Again, I think you need to to go to the Court of Appeals, Supreme Court, go that route, because just coming up here hooping and hollering and getting loud and calling people cowards and stuff like that.
He is a coward.
It's not going to get you things to look on that.
Well, but he's neglecting his obligations and responsibilities that he.
We don't have an obligation or responsibility.
You do, and it's called protecting and serving.
Not turn over evidence on a closed case with alleged suspect.
Even if it's evidence that proves his innocence, y'all, that's not protecting and serving. I'm sorry, but if that's actually truly the case, then I guess I'm at war with society.
They would not have.
Because this is treasonous.
They would not have collected as evidence to use against you.
They didn't have evidence. That's what I'm trying to show here. They have not a damn thing as evidence back there.
That's why that motion of discovery would have been great during the pre-trial phase before you pled guilty.
This is just a full-blown declaration of war.
Well, like I said, Matt, I got some paperwork I need to take care of, but that's my biggest issue about you. Court of Appeals, Supreme Court, go that route, and go from there. You're really wasting your time up here. You know, if you want to report a crime and you need extra control, if somebody's trying to hurt you or do anything, we're more than happy to help you out. You know, but as far as turning over evidence on a closed case, you're not going to do that. Not to the alleged suspect, not without a court order.
I'm not going to stop.
I understand, but I'm just saying, be smart about it.
I'm going to say the same thing to the sheriff's department. Be smart about it. Don't violate my constitutional rights again. Because, you know, right now, they're lucky enough to be outside of the window, unless I were to. There's a couple of different ways that I can, you know, through the fraudulent concealment claim. But they violate my rights again. Trust me, I've studied up on the law. I know every single bit about the law, and I know exactly what all has been done to me from over the past 3 years. So, I mean, it would. I'm just gonna advise that you guys, you know, apply the law properly and evenly, and you know, don't buy into any corruption that's being passed down from, even if one of your supervisors, you know, that's the thing. This town is split down the middle. So supporters politically, but this town is split, especially its departments, its agencies, to something that I call trickle-down corruption. It's a moral dilemma, because you take an oath to protect and defend, to uphold the Constitution, but then you get put into a dilemma, whether it be something passed through the board or the mayor that you know is not right, ethically, morally, and even goes against, you know, may go against constitutional rights of citizens, but you have no choice but to do it out of fear of retaliation, of being held, you know, of it coming against you if you don't. And I'm telling you, y'all are putting yourselves in a lot bigger harm's way by, you know, if you are following unconstitutional orders that are passed down and pressured. And I know it happens every day across this country in all kinds of different agencies. That's the problem, is it's getting out of hand. And there needs to be more people like me that are willing to stand up, that don't have fear when it comes to that. Truly, my only fear is the true criminals getting away with it. Other than that, I have none. Zero.
All right, I got some paperwork back. Okay? All right, man.
All right, Lee.
They call me the Outlaw. Man, when I got back to Oxford 4 or 5 months ago, we saw Scott Mills. He said, "What's up, Keystone?" And then after Alan Wilbur came in, it was Kilo. I said, "No, they call me the Outlaw. I'm a premonition motherfucker. Back to the streets, back to the bar, back to bowling, back to being smart, back to the jail, to the court, to the pen. And when I get to drink and start back over again, I'm going back to the streets, back to the bar, about to stop. Keeping one eye in the mirror, try to keep from getting slammed. Always pressing forward and writing, cause I always go ham. Keep the sign of struggle always on my left arm of the stand. I'm the rubber band man, not T.I., no I'm the man. Take your city, take your state, let you know just who I am. I'm the conniving conniver, Mr. Webster, you can see I'm going back to the streets, back to the bar, back to ballin', back to be a star, back to the jail, to the court, to the pen. And when I get to drinking, start back over again. I'm going back to the streets, back to the bar, back to ballin', back to be a star, back to the jail, to the court, to the pen. And when I get to drinking, start back over again, yeah. Behind bars, looking out, doing bedtime. It's my plan, when I leave, gotta keep shining. I ain't gone forever, mama, quit crying. I'm a fighting believer now, I ain't dying. No arraignment to me, yeah, take a while. And the shit I did, wish I could take it right. All the steps and ways, wish I could rewrite. Then I'll be back on my feet, trying with my might. Trying to make them stack up to the ceiling. Man, you ain't never held 10 stacks, it's a hell of a feeling. Wow. Now bring it back. I lose my concentration when I think I'm going back to the streets, back to the farm, back to ballin', back to being smart, back to the jail, to the court, to the pen. And when I get to drinking, start back over again. I'm going back to the streets, back to the bar, back to ballin', back to being smart, back to the jail, to the court, to the pen. And when I get to drinking, start back over again, yeah. Oxford Outlaw, check, 1, 2. I stole the mic, stole the stage, gave them back to you. See that chick on my left arm, she's something, dude. And that brother crossed the line, man, I'm sorry, dude. I got everything I got from doing what I do. I went from bottom to the top without help from you. I've been out the game for years, now I ain't new. I done did this shit and why am I going harder, dude? Like I said back in 06, I go hard for money. Now why you all up in my shit? What you think I'm funny? You know conspiracy's a bitch, so quit talking, dummy. All the shit I put you through, yo, I'm sorry, mom.